Edgar Allan Poe. More often than not, the first thing that comes to mind when his name is mentioned is alcoholism. However, this was a vicious rumour spread by Poe's enemy, Rufus Wilmot Griswold, after his death. Griswold wrote Poe's obituary under the pen name Ludwig in the hopes of tarnishing his reputation. In it he wrote that Poe had a shrewd
and naturally unamiable character.
He continues on to say that Poe was
irascible, envious,
and had a cold,
repellent cynicism.
Nearing the end of the obituary, he states that there was little or
nothing of the true point of honour,
and implies he was egotistical and had only the intention to succeed,
not shine, not serve, but succeed.
Their feud was at its worst when Griswold took over Poe's position at Graham's magazine, where he earned more money and was given more editorial control over the magazine. Shortly after this, Poe started to give lectures, the first of which was in 1843. In these lectures, Poe used the opportunity to attack Griswold until 1845, where Poe wrote a letter to Griswold saying he was sorry for ever causing harm, and that he no longer uses him in his lectures. In 1850, Griswold wrote Memoir of the Author, the works of the late Edgar Allan Poe, in which many of the false information on Poe comes from. Unfortunately, this was the only source of information for Poe for many years, and so a lot of Griswold's words were taken as gospel. He made Poe out to be a mad, drunken, angry and violent man who went after women. Not only did Griswold spread these lies about Poe, but he made an attempt to back up his opinions with fake letters from Poe and family members. This is not to say that Poe didn't have his trouble with alcohol. He had at one time been dependent on the bottle, but this was due to the death of his wife, Virginia Clem Poe. Poe suffered many losses in his life, including his birth parents, Eliza Poe and David Poe Jr., and his foster mother, Frances Allen. These losses and his lack of income made Poe turn to alcohol. However, he was sober years before his death. Eventually, Griswold was to be identified as Ludwig and was shown for what he really was, and so Poe's reputation was finally restored.